Tonight, we begin First Tuesday with a film about style, fashion and taste, of a rather esoteric kind. You may not have been a fan, but you'll surely remember the Sex Pistols, who outraged respectable Britain in the late 70s, not only by their behaviour, but also with that anti-music which was christened punk rock. In 1977, to the relief of some people, the Sex Pistols disappeared off to America and rapid oblivion. But before they went, they played a farewell gig in Yorkshire. And as we discover in Made in Huddersfield, the town has become a shrine for the members of what now seems a curiously old-fashioned cult, punk rock.
Like punk for, quite a long time, and, it's strange to just say punk because it's not, you can't really pinpoint what it is, it's just more of a way of life and beliefs that you hold, not just dressed as well.
When I was at school, I just used to wear, like, old badges and that all over my jacket, and I used to wear padlock around my neck. And they used to say, at school, they used to be saying, now they're going to throw you out for wearing that. But they never did, and I just got worse from them. Well, everybody else would call it worse.
School itself was boring. Teachers bored me. School itself bored me. Lessons bored me, because what good's learning French to me? I don't live in France, so why should I learn French?
I mean, I've got 11 O-levels, so I'm lucky really that I don't have to take just any job. I can, be lucky enough to get the job that I want to do. I work with computers and I like it. But they're telling me, get better jobs. Just look at, when jobs come up on the thing, just look at the money where it's, don't look about what it's about. Just look at the money. If it's more what you're on, go for it, you know what I mean? And I don't agree with that at all. I mean, I've got enough money now.
I'm going to Newcastle University. I want to go because I can just say to people, if they say something against me and say, oh, well, you're nothing. I've got my own stuff, what I've done, like volunteer work, and that means a lot to me. But also I've got some of their rubbish, to say, well, yeah, but by your standards, going to university is good, so how can you say I'm nothing, sort of thing?
Too much time's taken up with school, because when you get to about 14, 13, you just want to be out drinking and taking drugs and stuff and trying out all these new things like sex and drugs and all things you're finding out about. That's life, right? That's better than worrying about bloody O-levels and jobs and stuff. And that's what I did. But I'm not thick, right? I've got plenty of intelligence, but I never showed it at school.
And we were a bit naive at that time, and wearing swastikas were just a way of life, wasn't it? Pistols started it off, They started it with swastikas just because it rebelled and people didn't like it. That's what we did it for anyway, because it shocked people. And we got noted as Nazis at school by blacks and that.
I've known some good, like, blacks and Pakis and that. I used to get on with them at school, and they were sound then. So it just doesn't matter. It's just like if they start hassling us, that's when trouble starts.
Well, anybody
we're
can
not
hassle us,
against
don't
them.
We're not against anyone. Stiffs give us more shit than blacks and packers. They give us more shit. You get your trendies, your nice white shirt and white trousers are going out, showing his bird off to all his mates, big macho man. They're the ones to watch out for.
Oh, I was going to be a doctor, and in my eyes, they were going to do everything, you know. I mean, I never thought to be a punk rocker. That was the farthest thing from my mind. But you all have dreams for your children, everybody does. But they don't always work out that way.
I played in the Yorkshire Council League with the ICI. Got a few wickets, a few runs.
Few medals.
Few medals, yeah. I enjoyed it. I was hoping he might have been a cricketer, but he never fulfilled it. But you can't push people into something they don't really want. If he'd made it as a cricketer, I'd have gone and watched him and loved it.
In August, we'll have been together 3 years. Well, Nobby, he lives with his girlfriend. He's just buying his house. He's working. He's not on a very good wage there. He does well for what money he gets. Kitty and Brookie work together, drummer and bassist. Kitty's this mad. He's all right then, good lad. And Brookie's same. He does a lot for the band. Brookie does a hell of a lot for the band, money-wise and influence-wise. We're all committed, we're all good mates. It's the best way to be, you can't have a band on any other terms.
About 18 months ago she left home. I was very upset at the time. I didn't want her to go at all. But she's a very independent person and I knew that it would have to come earlier than usual. I just expected her to be different. I always knew she would be different to most of her friends, really.
Yeah, but you sort of got to know my friends. Like some parents, they slag off the kids' children. They don't even let them come through front door. So how do they know? You know, like my mum. If she'd have ever said, oh, I don't like so-and-so, I wouldn't have held it against her because she got to know everybody. She let them in the house and that, and she did sit and talk to her like they were her mates sort of thing, you know. There's a lot of parents, they slag off the kids' mates, and they only see them walking down the street. Well, how do they know them?
Yeah.
Most people don't get to know the people, and they can't say out if they don't know them.
Yeah, because we've always had children in, even when you were young, haven't we, really?
Other parents wouldn't let you in their house and that.
No, when we lived at Birkby, they were always in our house, but you never got invited back, did you? They wouldn't let anybody, they wouldn't let Camilla in the house, not because she was an awful child or anything, they just didn't want the people in. Probably just spoil the furniture, etc. But I was never bothered.
He's 19-year-old, and there's not a lot you can do about it, but I won't be like some people. A lot of children's left home through it. But this is his home, and whenever he wants to stay here, he'll stay here. I don't believe in that. I mean, you're all individual, and you've all a mind of your own. And it's no good trying to force your ideas on other people. We don't approve, but it's what he wants to do. There's a big generation gap between us, you see. In fact, there's nearly 2 generation gaps in there.
Well, I like him to live at home, because I know where he is then. You know, no problem if he's in a flat. Be frightened of whether getting the right food, you know, because they won't get much money, like, you know, on the door, like, so I thought, if he's at home, we could feed him and look after him and make sure everything's okay.
I don't want to leave home. It's just my home. I've got everything I need. I don't need to go out for anything. You know, my mum, dad lend me money when I'm skint and that. And if I were living away from home, I'd be broke all the time and getting into trouble and that. So I'd rather be at home.
in 80s, right? Life's a bag of shit, right? So we just take life as it comes, right? Don't think about tomorrow. Just do what it is today, like. You might get your dole on a Friday, right? And you go and spend it all on hell, you know what I mean? And gigs.
I work at a school with kids, and then I work at somewhere else where my mum works with older people, and, you know, across the age ranges really. But I feel that old people, you know, they've no respect in that. I mean, they've worked hard, and the people who are old now are people who fought this country. I mean, I don't agree with war or whatever, but I mean, they were used as like pawns, and they should be sort of thanked for what they've done. You know, they're just thrown on scrap heap in this country. You know, in a lot of countries abroad, they looked up as if they're wise and that, and in this country they just looked as if, oh, the rubbish, you know, like treated like kids and come on, little grandma, or something like that, you know.
Are you sharing them? It's only that one. Oh no, that's lovely. What else can I have?
You always eat them before me. She always gets them before you.
Yes, she does, doesn't she? That's it before me, that's never mind, I know bother.
We've never seen anyone like her before. Never. Never.
What, not even in town?
No, not even in town, love.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you do it now.
Don't come off,
I don't know why you cut dye your hair.
don't you?
You spoil it.
I'll do yours.
You will not.
It looked nice with a nice green rinse. What's up with you?
we like.
Go with your dress.
This isn't green.
I know, but a nice green will go with your blue.
You know, there's something wrong with you.
Is there? That's nice.
When Pistols come on, they just went, yeah, straight in singing, and they just took over, and everybody just went mad on them and that. I think that's why they boomed, because they were different, you know. That's why punk come from it, you know, because they give us the incentive to be different, not to be stick to their regulations and the PUNKS in music and the PUNKS in music press and that. Last time Pistols played in England were Huddersfield. They played at Ivanhoe's on Christmas Day 1977. I think it was Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, one of the two. That was the last British gig they did before they went to America and then split up. So Huddersfield's got a stamp on punk forever.
I've never really liked calling myself a punk. It's the label what people have put on us. But admittedly, if we're talking about ourselves, and other people will say, oh, as punks, you see, but really deep down I don't see it like that. We're different kinds of punks, I suppose. We're not like the punks of, you know, yesterday. We're not degenerate, really. We don't go out and deliberately cause anarchy and things like that. I think most of the punks nowadays tend to just show their controversy in the way they dress, how they speak, how they like to act about on the piazza, you know, sending people up and things like that, but they don't mean anybody any harm, really. It's just a big doss, really.
I think Huddersfield's better than a lot more towns. It's like, there's no places for gigs that are like that, but it's still a lot better.
Yeah, they had some good venues, yeah. You got a lot of people coming from London and places like that, you know, really down south.
Nowhere left, is there?
No, they won't take bands on, you know, now much here. I think, you know, they just don't want punks to be in the place. You know.
You should have seen it in 77, a lot better. That's when it first started. It was really good, it was more violent. Hell of a lot of violence. Where now it's sort of really cut down a hell of a lot. I think it's better this way, with everybody's friends.
I still think more or less the same, you know, I mean, like, I still sort of see these, like you say, and I still feel as though I'm still part of it, even now, you know. They call me granddad, a lot of them, you know. That's something I don't like.
Never say much to them, but they don't like it.
They don't like us.
No, nobody likes us. We're not loved.
It's like punks and skinheads in other towns that hate each other. It's like Huddersfield, punks and skinheads like each other, and we go down together all the time, don't we?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, other towns you go and they can't understand why punks and skinheads are going round together. Parental. I don't know whether they're talking to them. Tossers.
We've got a bad reputation for stuff that we haven't done, and that, but as a group, we're all together, you know. We all stick together, punks and skins, you know. That's the way it should be now. We're all against the same thing, common enemy. So why rebel against one another? Well, Huddersfield. It's just Huddersfield, isn't it?
My hearing's really bad. Can make your ears right, so. Oh, I love them. Oh, love them. What time am I meeting you tonight then?
About 6:15.
How did you get to know that lad who were doing? Who were going to see?
Well, he's just seen us walking round and he asked a friend to ask if we'd do some modelling.
It's just a way of life. It's not a fashion. It's a cult figure, you know, like it's not a fashion. Never one. Well, it was to begin with. You get all your poxy art students and that taking, you know, they were taking piss out of themselves really, weren't they? By being punks, because they don't know about it. They're just posing. And that. But so now it's more street level. It's the kids that come from working class backgrounds and that. But we don't class ourselves as any class as lot, do we? We're just punks.
People say to me, when you're going to get a car, you know, when you're going to change, when we're going to wear a tie at work, things like that. I'll never get anywhere if I don't wear a tie, you know what I mean? And to me it's ridiculous. I mean, I can do my job, all right. It don't matter what I'm wearing on my feet, whether I'm wearing a tie.
I don't want him to look like this, obviously. I mean, what mother in her right mind would? But I think, well, it's an outlet. It's something. They're letting off steam. They're rebelling against society. I mean, we wouldn't have dared done it in 1,000 years. But they don't bother today. They just go their own way and tell with the consequences. They're not bothered.
I've tried all sorts.
Eggs,
yeah, but they go off and they stink day after. What Swales used to use lemon curd, didn't it? Lemon curd to stick it on. another thing I've got to do. I've got to write a set list down for tonight.
Sometimes I can't understand what they're singing about, you know. I think I get the opinion that it's trying to make a point, aren't they? I don't know who to, you know, they're always making a point about something. I think that's what the theme is, isn't it?
Staying Guns in Huddersfield just about, it's about every punk's anthem there is. They can change the name of the town, our city. They can, Staying Guns in London, Manchester, whatever. Because we come from Huddersfield, it's Staying Guns in Huddersfield. It's just about uprising, turning on and saying, look, we just don't want your bullshit anymore. We've got our life to lead. We don't want to follow on suit of what you've done. You've made a balls of this world. Don't expect us to pay consequences.
Referee, he's always in.
He is, isn't he? Yeah.
Wow.
Pop up on the other side for him.
It's away. All down. You have to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been away.
Yeah, they got him talking about his down.
Oh, well, it's always been a Manchester United fan right from being little. And the times they sat and cried when they've lost, but especially when they've been losing at a cup final. He's been sat on the settee with all his colours on, his caps, scarves, all the outfit and everything. And then when they've lost, he's just sat and cried, you know.
He sent him off.
That's a definite copper's reaction, isn't it? Send them out. Would be a pig.
Does that mean SPG? Look at that, that's a bit bad, isn't it?
We buy his clothes and his boots and everything and his food. And he gives so much out of his board, but obviously gets most of it back. It's spent back on him. I don't think he could manage. Well, he couldn't. It's impossible. He couldn't manage on his dole.
Well done, you were right, Grandad. I missed it. Grandad was right. He said if anyone scores today up the right side.
Have you got your ankle better?
I'm going to jump up, but I thought, no.
To do the washing and cooking for him. And I clean the house. Well, I have to do it for John, so I do it for him as well. I think it's part of being a mother.
You can be in town, you can hear people say, look at the state of that. Well, I think, well, what if they saw me with my son, you know?
Now, well, there's so much good in the best of us, the worst of us, and so much good in, you know, what is it? There's so much good in the best of us and so much bad in the worst of us. It'd hardly be over any of us to criticise the rest of us. And it's true.
People in glass houses shouldn't have.
They shouldn't, love. Yeah. And there's quite a few glass houses knocking about.
Some people who know to write home about.
But they're always the first to cast the first stone, aren't they? There's many worse things in life, and you think, well, he can cover his arms up with a shirt and his neck, I suppose, and his hair will eventually grow. I hope he ain't like that when he's 40.
The oldest punk in Huddersfield.
I'm not changing for no one. If I want to change, I'll change, but I'm not changing for no one else.
I knew I was getting old, but I must say I felt some sympathy for that gentle-sounding dad when he said, they're trying to make a point, aren't they?